Hey there, and welcome to week 5 of the Eblan Elixir League. This is the first week of the Moonveil Mixer Flags, and we have a terrific matchup here for you. My name is Sheep Launcher. I'm here with Enja Dave, and before we get to the matchup, Dave, we have a new flag set for the next 4 weeks of the Moonveil Mixer. What's exciting you most about these flags?
Zeromus. We get Z-Sprites again.
Yay! Z-Fight! Yeah, Zeromus is back, and in order to get to him, our runners have to complete 6 out of these 7 objectives you see there in the middle. And look at that, completing the Giant is one of them, as well as launching the Falcon and completing the Tower of Zod, along with the standard objectives. This is a fun set of objectives here tonight, Dave.
This will be interesting, especially if we don't find half a forge anytime soon. Our runners will be more inclined to go through that Giant. I do see we have a Kane hero, always a fun hero to play with.
Yes, let's hope he doesn't betray us heroically, as his is wont. We do have Judge Joe in the top left of teams Rydia's Rebels. We have against Sorbius of Team No Springs. Both those teams 2-2, looking for an all-important third win to get themselves on the winning side of the ledger. On the bottom, we have Bangagong from Team Silvera Petting Zoo. 1-3 on the tournament against V Tafro, who is representing Brew Dude Attitude, 2-2, and this is a chance for V Tafro to get on the board.
That's very true. I do appreciate Judge Joe's naming scheme. Maybe trying to appeal to our restreamer a little bit for some spice in the seed.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. We have our restreamer Xenocat, as well as our 2 Intrepid trackers, Mecha and Fiery Blizzard, along with us tonight as well. And so, yeah, with T Wildish, actual items back in the treasure chests, standard shops, what's your first move coming out of the gate with a Kane?
The Fuse you can make. I like hitting just the front of Watery Pass. Maybe I can spike a bit of strength gear. It really depends, who my second character is and what was in that starting kit.
And that's certainly true. I do have to say I do appreciate Sorbius's naming scheme as well. I understood that Tenacious D reference. What a great album. But it looks like our runners are underway. We'll have our answer on who that second character is momentarily. It is a Sid, and the Antlion gives a Magma Key to start. And we are glad to have you with us. This is a blazing fast start.
Magma Key, that's an interesting start for our runners. We might see some of them immediately take that and go underground. I did see a Bacchus wine in that kit at the very least.
Yeah, a bit of a mixed bag kit at the start, but yeah, one Bacchus will go a long way. Remember, J items are available in stores in the Moonveil Mixer flag sets, so that's certainly going to be helpful. Vampires, silk webs, those kinds of things going to be available in shops again.
We see Sorbius immediately dropping the Magma Key, Joe off to Watery Pass, a little bit looting, Bangagong dropping the key.
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 of our runners heading straight to Aggert.
Good Watery Pass for Kane. I saw Blizzard Sphere out of there.
Not bad at all. The treasure in this is weighted a little bit toward the out-of-the-way places. Eblan Castle, Watery Pass included in those out-of-the-way places. The max tier you can get out of any of these chests, though, is max tier 5. But Sammy Arrow is not bad for that Sid. Can back row glitch, and Sid can start getting work done early.
Sid came back row glitch. That's a bow and arrow he started with that Bangagong showed us.
So that's great. An Archer Bow Sammy Arrow, not bad at all for the early game.
The best bow he can start with? Yes, please.
And V Tafro immediately going into the Feymarch Sorbus, heading to Tamra, finding Hourglass 2s for sale and wants a stack of those.
I think I saw a Gungnir in the Feymarch cave. Feymarch cave. That's the best weapon you're going to find in a random chest.
And a Rosa up on Hobbs for Judge Joe. Have to face down Val Valis to get to her. Luckily, we have a Kayn.
I do believe this spot has no physical evade rolls.
Yeah, so even if Kayn weren't around, that wouldn't be too much of an issue, but Judge Joe will kind of do the Mario stomping on a Koopa action to take care of Valis and get her out of tornado form. Tafro giving us the first key item check, just some arty arrows. So very nice, but not a key item.
Joe making very quick work of that Valvalis.
And now has a white mage in his party. Bangong finds a samurai bow in Dwarf Castle in a pot, and they're also for sale.
That'll go good with those arty arrows we just found.
Strength rings for sale too. They are a little on the pricey side, and Bangong doesn't have that kind of scratch yet.
Yeah, we do start with 10 rune rings thanks to the Dwarf Kid. That's enough to kickstart your shopping.
Feymarch shop has both Star Veils and Silk Webs for sale, along with Leviathan Orb in case Rydia shows up early. And Judge Joe, the only one of our runners to stay on the top side of the blue planet.
Thank you to Bangagong being the runner of the people here, showing us the job dwarf is a pharmacy aide today. Very useful job.
Sure. You have questions about any of the Moonveil mixers, the potions in the particular party, that's who you go to. Go to the job dwarf.
Yeah, any of the elixirs shown in this featured in this league.
That is a very doable Feymarch. Dolls in the king spot, Bahamut in the queen spot. Yeah. Not this early, but fairly early. Our runners can take care of both of those at once.
Yeah, get yourself some sort of good AoE. You can take care of the dolls, and Bahamut just implodes himself.
Yeah, as a reminder, the no free bosses flag was on in Potion Party. It is back. It is back off for this. So the dolls, the back dolls in particular, are able to be stopped or have other status effects inflicted upon them.
We see BT Afro taking on the Bahamut immediately.
Yeah, putting up some Star Veils. Will need what, 4 counter nukes here? 3.
This spot is 23,000 HP, and you're doing quad 9s for every reflected mega nuke. This spot has all the magic.
And it's just a matter of if the Star Veils hold up long enough. Judge Joe got the tower key from the Outlying Cave. Keyless Tower not on the table for him tonight.
That's honestly a reason why why some people consider just clearing the overworld before diving, so you can get some direction once you go underground.
BT Afro does use a Grimoire there. Not sure if that was necessary, but it's always nice to have a little bit of reassurance. And Bahamut goes down.
We see a sage and a scientist having lunch in the Baron Inn.
And the Sand Ruby is the reward. So on Moonveil Mixer, I don't believe there are restrictions on the number of characters available.
Oh, every character will be in a seat somewhere.
Cecil and Fu will be in restricted spots, guarded by a key item, but, you know, the Magma Key is a key item. The Cecil and Fu can be, for example, in Dwarf Castle. Joe is through the first doctor's appointment.
And the Leviathan in the second spot.
Leviathan can be a little tricky here. This is a really good spot for that Grimoire if he gets a good roll.
And Shiva's a role that exists. The good news here, this spot is slow and the magic not overly threatening.
Yeah, the Ice 2s won't one-hit KO a lot of the members of the party, and putting those vampires to good use.
Yeah, you gotta get through you gotta get through 4,000 HP somehow.
And a vampire just hanging out in the chest in Antlion Cave. Always good to have those on hand, especially early on. They are just big damage rolls for your party that you are not always able to get from attacks with your characters.
Baron rewards us with Tella and the Baron Key.
That is a vanilla Baron Key. Sorbius also going down into the Antlion Cave, finding the royalty down here. Definitely not where our runners want to see King Queen Eblan. You always would rather have it be in a much tougher spot.
Like, say, the element spot, because we have 3 bosses back on. So you would just wait the script out rather than have to do the 100,000 damage.
Yep, but unfortunately for them, but fortunately for us, there will be a tougher boss in the element spot, which, as a reminder, is probably going to be required. 6 of the 7 objectives need to be done. And Bangagong having the same thought here as VT Afro, going to engage in counting class with Bahamut and just put up a wall and wait for Bahamut to stop droning. And at least as of now, not going to keep Sid up. This will make the fight a little bit faster. Sid won't get the experience. Judge Joe will be the last of our runners to head underground at about 10 minutes.
Right, but having grabbed 2 more characters, so might do some shopping for a Siren, maybe a Coffin. Or we've Tellus, we could stop an egg.
And our tracker, Mecha, pointing out that Judge Joe did pick up a Drain Spear. A Drain Spear does decrease the agility for that cane, so if he needs that cane to be a little bit slower, because as the hero, all of the action is going to revolve around him, that's a little bit of anchoring. Smart pickup to have just in your back pocket.
And on VTR side, we see the first peek into Fabul. Asura is invading today.
Want to welcome in the Raiders from Commander Leonhardt, who are joining us for the Moonveil Mixer Flags in Week 5 of the Eblan Elixir League. The race has just started about 11 minutes ago. The Magma Key was the first item. Kane joined by Sid, and so a lot of our runners have trekked underground, a very manageable Fey March. Rosa was up on Hobbs, guarded by Valvalis. No real struggle by any runner yet. Judge Joe, just trekking underground, decided to take care of some business on the overworld first.
And we saw the Fabul reward. The King of Fabul borrowed Sheila's spoon and gave it to us.
Spoon flag is on. And Sheila 1 is the Darkness Crystal. And there's an easily accessible Tella.
Don't say it.
I'm not saying it. I'm just stating facts here.
Oh, Okay, I guess you don't need stop if you just swoon the egg.
The egg is a protagonist in a Southern Gothic novel just swooning at the debonair handsome man. And Judge Joe making sure the egg needs its fainting couch.
Okay, Joe, now you're just showing off.
And VT Afro picking up that sand ruby from the Bahamut fight, finding a karate man in the bed, and says, hop aboard. And so, if a grind is on the table, and we probably will see more grinds than we did in the Potion Party flag set, if a grind is on the table, the Yang is a character that benefits from a lot of levels, can really provide really effective work for you.
Right. Go ahead.
And Judge Joe, I was going to say, going to take that tower key and at least do the half tower play here.
After getting those levels, I wouldn't be surprised to see a full tower play.
That's right, he did swoon eggs a bunch, so the top of tower, very doable. Top of tower, the worst part about it is the high health at that spot. Not particularly threatening in a physical or magic attack, just takes a while to do. And VT Afro taking that darkness crystal and immediately summoning the whale here.
I think VT Afro wants to know who is on the moon.
Yeah, somebody's walking around up there, and he wants to find out who it is. Judge Joe also going to take on some of the trap chests here. What do you suppose he's looking for here, Dave?
Adamant armor? Avenger?
That'd be nice. That's right, adamant armors are available. How about a poison axe?
I don't hate it.
With sirens for sale, it's certainly not as important to leave an alert or two available for that edge you know will be in the seat somewhere. Sorbius going to leave Fabul Castle after being noble and defending it and getting a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh,
And
that's bonus round in the cannon room.
the Keyful Tower turns out to be the play.
Kane, you missed it by that much.
Oh,
About 53 damage short.
just the latest in a long string of betrayals. How could you do this to us?
Kane, we're not mad at you for that. We're just disappointed.
Speak for yourself. Not a bad West Hobbs. For Bangagong, did pick up a lunar staff. That Ashura is probably not going to come in handy, but it will sell.
And on the dais, we have a Quack Kid.
There you go. Still early enough in the seed that he'll be real useful.
Okay, the story of this tower for Joe is just Kane short charging every single one of these fights.
Black belts for sale for Sorbius in Mysidia. Definitely wants one of them.
Good pickup.
Very much so.
14k for +5 strength and decent defense. Also, would you like a crystal sword? Go beat up that eyeball.
If only it were that easy in real life.
Go punch an eyeball and get a crystal sword? That seems kind of rude.
And VT Afro making a really interesting play here. I like it a lot. Going to go after the hairdryer chest. See if he can spike a really good item from up here. Also get bags of experience.
Yeah, this party wants XP.
And in case you're just joining us, each of these runners is part of a team. It's not like a 2v2 race you might have seen before. The runners are not collaborating with each other, but they are racing 1v1 against the runner across from them, and their results will be tabulated as part of the results for the week. Judge Joe, a member of Viridia's Rebels, Sorbius, Team No Springs, Bangagong, Silvera Petting Zoo, and VT Afro Brood Dude Attitude.
And we've been Odin at top of tower.
So here's where the high HP kind of comes into play. It's going to take a little bit to whittle Odin down, give him a chance to do his big Odin attack. Luckily, his Odin attack not as menacing here as it could be elsewhere.
And we did start with a Thor Rage. A little early on that jump.
Yep. So, Bangkok actually checking Waterfall. We do have the boss hunt on in this flag set. Demist has been found. It's behind a tower key. But Golbez is still out there somewhere. And also the Fabul Gauntlet. Bangkok did hang around for a second to check if that blue robe was the Fabul Gauntlet. If the Fabul Gauntlet were there, however, it would be 3 blue robes, not just 1 for the water hag.
Right, and that's also great news for us in the booth, because that's another very free boss off the table.
Woohoo! Everything's coming up us. VT Afra did get a Bahamut summon from that hairdryer's chest. Not precisely what he was looking for, but he'll definitely take the EXP.
And we see, there's the Thunderstruck.
Very nicely done.
Yeah, I like Pancras describing that, face tank struck.
Sorbius did muck around for a bit in Cape Bahamut. I did not see, I believe
it was a Ruby Sprite.
Ooh, so it could be Rubicant, it could be Elements. So Sorbius at least can narrow that down, but did pick up a whole bunch of free looting in Cape Bahamut.
And we see Sorbius could be the first one to show us what's on Ordeals.
Yeah, on this flag set, Dave, what do you think about an Ordeals play, especially when Cecil and Fu are restricted like this?
They are restricted, but they're also guaranteed to be in every seed somewhere. So with Cecil guaranteeing the seed and Holy Swords falling from the sky sometimes, I don't mind it.
Yeah, and it is a key item check. We do have that boss hunt still going on, and that's 3 opportunities to find the Comedian Lunarian up here, so certainly worth it.
Yeah, the Comedian or the Alt Gauntlet, either one could be hanging up here. Maybe Alt Gauntlet hang out in back attack, because that's always fun.
And as Dekar Smash pointing out in chat, if you want to do that D-Machine grind with that Tela, you got to do Ordeals. And Judge Joe finds the Twin Harp. That's required.
Yep, that is objective number 3 set up. And we got a Sparkle at Ordeals 1. It is a relatively painless Ogopogo.
Just about the best spot in the game to find Ogopogo. Would you agree?
I would. This, outside of, say, the Waterfall or Mist Cave, where you never have to look at it again.
Yeah, and in a place where you actually have to fight it, this place is real slow. The physical attack here is laughable. Waves are going to hurt always. You gotta stay on top of that, but you're not going to find a more manageable Ogopogo. And VT Afro checking out the Cape Bahamut finds all 4 elements. So 1/4 leg.
So that first phase is going to punch hard.
Trying to find the best weapon for Kane to attack.
And we now know Miss Cave just has a karate, so both bosses are hanging out somewhere.
And Octomam in the back of the bridge. So far, a very forgiving ordeals.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider this not ordeals. More like, you know, Mount Mild Challenge, maybe?
Mount Minor Annoyance.
Yeah.
Yeah, a very nice bargain being struck here. Octomam will slow down on a spot that already isn't all that quick.
Our restreamer Cat Mount Noodles.
Yeah, a lot of noodly appendages up here. And Bangagong and VT Afro now in the same spot, converging in the inn. That's where the party's at. Which Leviathan could be in the mirror room? Leviathan's in the second spot in Baradan. Does Pale Dim qualify as a noodle?
I'm sure it's noodle shaped.
Like an Orikethi?
Sure, I think.
Well, Kane must venture in there alone to face his new self. Prepare for this challenge. Wonder if he'll take this to heart throughout the rest of the seed. I hope he does.
For more deals, we get the hook. That's objective 7 on the table.
Very much so. It is another sparkle. And it's eyeball punching time once again. So now both Bangagong and VT Afro will pick up the Baron Key. Judge Joe did not chase it when he picked it up. We'll see if either the bottom runners want to chase it. Definitely going to want to go shopping.
And I recall there was some good stuff in here.
And VT Afro going to bypass the store. He's got somewhere to be. And that somewhere is on top of the Baron Throne. The first boss here, in case you joined us late, was an antlion. Down from his natural habitat on the moon.
Joe is healing up. Are we taking a swing at the dolls immediately?
So the hourglasses were available for sale. I believe in Tamra, but certainly in the underground. And so that's all you need to take care of the dolls right now. Very aggressive play from Judge Joe, and this is his MO. This is what he does, Dave.
I'm aware.
No, he would rather take on a boss that he might be a little underleveled for than leave it behind and have to start over somewhere else.
We do see a VT Afro going back into Baron Castle, take on this antlion.
And Bangagong right behind. So Judge Joe has the Twin Harp. We know where that is. So,
and we know where Darkness, and we know where the hook is. So we're just looking for the Earth Crystal, the Forge, and some bosses.
Yeah, just that one. We are an Earth Crystal and a Gold Bez sighting away from no mode. BT Afro having no problem with that Antlion.
With the power we've got right now, most of these overworld bosses are going to melt.
We'll fight the boss, they'll melt with you. And we have a Legocracy, Rubicant on the throne.
Ah, yes. I too one day want a political system where the leader is chosen by who has the best legs.
Yeah, that's why Ruby's been re-elected in a landslide. The robe can't hurt either. You know, you got to dress for success.
No, it is a sweet robe.
A question in chat: can you stone the dolls in the back? You can. They do not have, the ones in the back do not have the boss bit. The ones in the front do. The problem with stoning the ones in the back, if you haven't gotten rid of the ones in the front yet, is that if dolls are left of any color, then the big doll comes out.
Right, you just need to... right, the big doll comes out as long as all the dolls match.
And I beg your pardon, stone is the one status effect they are immune to, the ones in the back. You can toad them, you can stop them, you can't stone them. And Fusoya hanging out in Baron Castle. You like Tella in the Baron Inn? How about a better Tella in Baron Castle?
So, Tella was giving us the keys to Tella Plus.
And VTF are also picking up a pan from the trash can. Baron really paying out.
And so if you had done the Baron Castle check before going underground, you would have had to pan the single dip Sylph Cave and a food to help take out everything down here.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been the dream. The dream. Bang and Gong not far behind. Probably a minute and a half behind VT Afro at this point. Sorbius going to be the first to dive the hook route and is opening some chests, finding some good stuff on the way down. We'll see if he wants to tangle with the Staleman once he gets there. Judge Joe going to give us our first look at Rydia's mom.
Speaking of Rydia, there she is. And a free boss on the hook route.
Yeah, some flavor of free. Either Baron guards or Kaipo guards on the hook route. And VT Afro in Eblan Castle wants to spike an adamant armor or maybe something real shiny.
Rydia's mom just had a lit bolt.
So 143 on key items from the tower. But that twin harp's still going to come in handy. And Judge Joe going to save it for later. It really is a long, out-of-the-way check. It's the check that's really popular with all of us, but it is a time commitment. You only get one key item check out of it, and I'm sure Joe is hoping that he can save it for the end, or at least for the last of his checks on the blue planet.
Right, it is still an objective.
Yeah, so he'll need to do it. He just wants to do it last. Sorbius taking on the Mad Ogres on the hook route. VT Afro, the Staleman, and Skull. I didn't see what he got from the Black Cat Lamia fight. But those hourglasses really coming in handy. And chat pointing out it was a Masamune for the edge that's not here yet.
It's okay, he'll show up sometime, maybe.
Yeah, he could show up at the end of the Giant. Did you see ninja shirts for sale in Tamra? Go ninja shirt, go ninja shirt, go.
Go, 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 do the Giant. Got a nice Dragoon Spear for the cane.
And that's a holy sword for Sorbius as well.
So Sorbius and Joe have holy sword parity, just though, and parity and wielders for the holy sword.
Yes. Yes, 0 equals 0.
Hold on, let me get my calculator out.
Yeah, you might want to get out the TI-89 for this one. And Joe is going to make the trek over the river, through the woods, to Cave Magnus we go.
The bard knows the song to save our day.
And Sorbius is going to be the first to try and take on the hook objective. And it'll be a race, basically, between Joe and Sorbius, who will be the first to light up a button.
I would put an advantage Sorbius, because this is a very free hook route.
It really is. Mylon Z in the first spot. The only way it could be more free is if Cecil were around. We'll have to undergo some poisoning here. Bank on taking on some eggs, beefing up that Yang.
VT Afro gets a stone cast on the Mad Ogres. Getting crystal armor.
Oh, and having to navigate the inventory boss in order to pick it up. Crystal armor, real nice to be sold. So we'll be hearing an awful lot of music in the Moonveil mixer, which we are so excited about. And Judge Joe will be the first one on this stream to demonstrate that music. That means we should just keep talking, right? Try and sing along.
Oh, of course.
Make up words for it. That sounds like fun.
I think our restreamer, who has composed a lot of these harp songs, might have thoughts about that.
I bet she agrees with us. Play us a song, you spoony bard. Well, that was the delightful final battle from Arcana. And Judge Joe gets the pass, and more importantly, Judge Joe lights up that button, and Sorbius falls through that pitfall. Both of our runners on top have one objective apiece, and this race is on. BT Afro taking care of that Antlion, which is the path to getting this Twin Harp and ultimately getting the pass. Bangong taking care of his tower.
Heading up to take on the Odin now. Bangong has finished off the Super Cannon room already.
And we know there's not much up at the top of the tower. Odin doesn't give a key item. I believe it was a full moon that Odin gave. I don't know if that's supposed to be a metaphor. Butts to you.
I could see that being more of a Gilgamesh thing than an Odin thing.
Yeah, Odin seems too upstanding, but you know that's a subtle joke, a subtle movie, if you will. And so Sorbius did one of my absolute favorite things in Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. Launches the Falcon, immediately ditches the Falcon, and heads right up the tower. We'll never have to deal with the Falcon again.
Basically saying, this is a stinky boat. I'm going to get a better one.
I fell all the way through a pitfall for this. I hate this thing. Give me the ship that I know the controls for. You know how a controller, like, your controller just feels better than other people's?
Oh, of course, it's mine.
Yeah,
why
exactly.
Would it be better?
Yeah, Sorbius feels that way about the airship, I think. And Judge Joe heading...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Judge Joe heading up Ordeals, having no problem with it at all.
Yeah, I was thinking the Falcon is red, so it should be faster, shouldn't it?
Maybe it doesn't have as many speed holes as the Enterprise does.
Ah, good thinking.
Put it in
H.
H.
Very, very important.
And so Bangagong making his way out of the tower, and our runners are quickly kind of running out of spots to check. Nobody has checked Dwarf Castle yet, and I think the reason for that is because, well, I'm not sure of the reason for that, actually. It's a character check. It's a key. It's 2 key item checks. All of our runners have warp now.
True. I think Sorbius wanted to just take the hook route underground just to get the objective done after getting warp.
Yeah, Sorbius is going to be able to chain this together very nicely.
I believe Bangagong and VT Afro should both have warp on that Fusoya.
Yes. Neither of them has been up Ordeals, but yeah, that Fu should have warp by now.
Although I have seen the old 1800 warp trick already. It's not a fun trick.
So yeah, in case you don't know, Fu does start with a whole complement of spells in the vanilla game, but in this he gets 100 HP and 3 distinct spells every time you defeat a boss. And so the spells are weighted, but they're random. And so you can go a long, long time without getting a basic spell like Warp, if you are especially unlucky.
I did see VT Afro's only got 1200, so might not have Warp yet.
So that would be a reason. but Bangagong taking that harp and immediately going where it leads. When a chain presents itself to you, you chase it. If you're of a certain mindset, I think that's a very good and defensible way to approach this game. Just take what the seat gives you.
Or do your objectives as soon as they pop up. That's also a very reasonable way to play.
Very much so. Joe checking out who is in the bed. He sees it's raining, it's pouring, an old karate man is snoring, and he says, no thanks. Oh, but Fu just learned nuke on VT Afro's side.
And we knew it was fairly early because Bangagong's Fu was throwing nukes at Odin.
Yeah. So at 1300 or 1400, something like that.
I think that was 1300 nuke,
yeah.
Which is really early for nuke. Also, that's a dwarf one that exists. Fairly certain I saw DKC dancing.
Oh. Well, how many Cure 3s, elixirs do you have? Can one person weather the storm? That's all you need.
Actually, everyone but... Yeah, this is fine. Everyone but Tella lives.
Yep. All right. Encore! Encore!
Or Arcana, please.
Bangong through will get his pass. A Dark Elf in the second spot here in Dwarf Castle.
And
not going to be an issue at all.
And the character is a Porum, so still on lookout for a Holy Man.
Yeah, Judge Joe has a spot for her in the party.
Sorbius has not cleared the Feymarsh bosses yet, so no Sand Ruby or...
No, it's Sorbius has not. So the Sand Ruby was available from the Queen spot in the Feymarch from that Bahamut.
Answer question, chat. Yes, Fusoya was the Baron Castle character.
Yeah. So who haven't we seen yet? We haven't seen Cecil. We haven't seen Edge.
We haven't seen Eddie. So the heavy hitters of Melee all missing right now.
Especially with the spoon available.
That's an admin armor.
Fun. That's quite something for Luca to be wearing around her neck. And that's a package. That's a key item. And that puts Judge Joe at 10, I believe.
That is 10. So what do you think? Do we check the package?
Yeah, with that Holy Sword just taking up a spot in the inventory, you gotta check the package. And you know, Avenger Kane can get you most of the way to Cecil, but you don't have Avenger Kane.
And if that's Cecil, we have a... Edge is tempting, but Joe says no.
Yeah, that is a, what, 3 to 4 minute check? Now, we haven't seen Golbez yet. And Golbez could be at that package. Not saying it's likely, but it's possible.
Listen, I played ZZ5 along with a bunch of other people. Don't tell me the odds are likely.
And yes, Edge cannot throw the crystal sword.
Yeah, I think if that had been exactly Cecil, we would have sat through the package.
Yes, I think Joe was very specifically looking for one character.
With ordeals completed, a crystal sword in hand, and adamant armor in our pocket.
Yeah, that crystal sword, adamant armor, Cecil, you could basically plot your own path through the rest of the seed. So what character spots are available? You got the Giant.
Both in Giant, 2 Zot checks, and
that's it.
I thought we were missing one more. Have we seen our dupe? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, we haven't seen the duplicate character yet.
Yeah, so we have Cecil, we have Eddie, and we have a dupe. That's what we're missing in those 3 slots.
I take great offense to you calling me that. Rydia was the character on the hook route. And all of the other characters have been accounted for. But while we have a second, while our runners are kind of retracing their steps, although Bangkok boldly going into the LST to do a little bit more grinding, do want to thank our restreamer Xenocat, our trackers Mecha and Fiery Blizzard, and thank you, Angie Dave, for joining me on this Twincast. It's always fun to commentate during the first week of a new flag set. And that's part of the fun of this Eblan Elixir League, is you have to master both and be part of a team in order to succeed.
A huge thank you as well, Chief Launcher. This is always fun.
And Sheila 2 check from VT Afro, I believe that was the Earth Crystal.
That's 2 character checks. That could be our Holy Man.
And that's
an objective. Yeah, that's an objective. I guess that part's important too.
And VT Afro not messing around, going straight there. Do you check the treasury at this point?
At max tier 5, I'm not a huge fan of treasury checks in this flag set. But VT Afro is.
Yeah, VT Afro wants to give us a chance to rate that treasury.
Rate that treasury!
Ninja sword, nice. We find it going over the edges.
Yep.
Don't mind if 3 boxes in a coffin.
Bandana isn't bad. Already have a Gungnir Spear.
And here's a real danger of doing the treasury. That was an inventory boss.
A samurai glove, another ninja sword.
And I guess we rate this Edge out of 10?
Yeah. Edge likes it. Hey, NG! Edge likes it!
He really likes it! Yeah, 2 ninja swords for Edge to swing, 2 light swords for him to chuck.
Yeah.
That's an Edge out of 10 treasury if I've ever seen one.
And VT Afro going to chain the Twin Harp and Earth Crystal checks together. The absolute dream. And yeah, this divergence on the bottom race between Bangagong and VT Afro is hugely compelling. It's all going to depend which checks pay off.
And on Joe's side, we see the Tela immediately upgraded to his evolved form. We were not pushing the B button while Tela was upgrading.
No. Judge Joe got rescued by a Naming Way and a frog.
We will see if Sorbius... Well, Sorbius will probably also take this. Usoya will see... Probably the Porum?
Oh, that's Fu.
Okay, I may need glasses. I clearly have a mop and a small child confused.
And one old man makes way for the other. But I do like Naming Way. Would you like me to stop the wall? Whose wall?
Who is Wall? Where is Wall? Maybe Naming Way is asking how is Wall. That's why it stopped.
Yes. And VT will be our third restreamed runner to hear Eddie play literally life-saving music. Life-affirming music. It's from Arcana.
And we see CPU is taking up residence in the basement. We took a reset there because Fu was about to obliterate one of our party members.
Yeah, and Joe makes an interesting adjustment, takes the Drain Spear off Kane, which was anchoring Kane a little bit, and instead puts a Poison Axe on him to deal with this IT issue. The Baron Basement is now the server room. And that was Sid burning down the Village Mist, which I didn't think he had it in him. But Sorbius, more importantly, sitting through this package cutscene for Edge. At least that's what we think.
This could be huge if there's a Golbez or a Gauntlet hiding behind this.
That is true. And, you know, we haven't seen any of the bosses on the moon except for the elements in Cave Bahamut, and Bangkok now showing us the Magus Sisters in, I believe this is the Ribbon Room. But yeah, we're starting to run out of places for them to be.
While we were taking a look at everything else, Bangkok was grinding away on gold dragons.
Yeah, he's staying gold, Pony Boy, and slaying those gold dragons, beefing up those levels, now taking care of the sisters. And so you have to wonder if Sorbius is just looking at this to peak the boss, or if he really wants that edge.
We have seen a bunch of edge weapons, although I don't know if Sorbius has any of them. Also, this computer is not, or has thoughts about mops, apparently.
Yeah.
Throwing two Globe 199s Usoya's way.
It's the digital versus analog conundrum, really.
Our boss here is just a sparkle.
A plain white T is all that Judge Joe gets. He resets out of that. It's D's Lunars, and Sorbius hacking his way through it. He wants edge. The first boss, meanwhile, in the Tower of Zot is Mylon and all of his friends.
Yeah, the zombie dance party quickly put to rest.
Mylon up on Zot with gassed friends. Mylon up on Zot with gassed friends. Mylon up on Zot with gassed friends. Oh, my body!
I wasn't expecting that ending. But perfect.
And there is Cecil. Up in the Tower of Zot.
Mecha Link, they're timeless, so I don't think that song's too old for anyone.
So VT, after rescuing a Dark Knight, but it immediately knows where he has to go. And that is an Eddie, is the second character. We know the character on the Giant is a duplicate. And so a full panoply of characters now available.
I would not be surprised to see all of our runners take both of these. Or no. BT Afro says no to Spoonward.
And thank you,
I did find the Luca key up here. Going after the White Sphere Ultra next with a very free fight.
If he has an hourglass lying around, he does. He has a pile of them.
I'm fairly sure we have a Fusoya with stone.
But they'll punch as long as they're up. Vigan is the only thing keeping the Tower of Zot upright, and soon that will not be enough.
Oh, the good news is these Baron Guards are mages, and all of our mages likely have rune rings on. A Death Foo might only be 1700 HP. It may not have. We may have 1800 stone.
Joe now heading up the Tower of Zot. Not going to pet a dog on his way up. As a reminder, K-Trap not on in this flag set, but the trap chests are a really good way to get high value items, and adamant armors are available from some trap chests.
That's right. We do have max tier 5 on. So if you want anything above 5, you're going to have to either find it in Kokol's shop or from a trap. Or from a Zonk.
And VT Afro immediately heading to Mount Ordeals.
Yep, once this Paladin online.
Yeah, the way the seed has laid out for him makes the next choice real easy.
Joseph, we get Oh My Body before any of the gas are down. Hopefully there's something coming behind that nuke too. Okay.
Yeah, so the gas do increase in physical attack greatly.
Yeah,
once Mylon is gone.
You ever been punched for quad 9s by a gas? And White Sphere Altar has the Legend Sword. That is half a forge on the moon.
Wow. Okay. All right, and this divergence is really starting to get spicy here now.
Also, Mecha, if you have, you ain't living.
Yeah, you're not living through that. Judge Joe getting the good news of 2 more characters who can swing really good weapons he has in his inventory. You can, Sorbius. You can. Here's Edward. He's gonna save the day.
With music.
And pale dim hot desking up here on the moon. Let's hear Edward's rendition of this harp song one more time for the people.
Sorbius bringing a close to our last rendition of music. We'll get his pass.
And Judge Joe did complete the Tower of Zot. Got the Gift of Silence, which has the right to remain in his inventory. BT Afro starting down the trek. Meanwhile, Bangagong surviving the doot-doot-doot-doot-doots. All Fusoids at full power, just for a heroin rope.
Starting to look like we have a double required giant.
Well, we don't know where the Crystal Sword, what the Crystal Sword altar and what the Murasame altar have yet. So, Goldes and Fabul Gauntlet could still be up there. Sealed Cave also has not been checked.
That's very true.
Yes, the double required giant dream is still alive. BT Afro looking at all the great stuff he has in his inventory, and he's like, give me some of this, and give me some of this. Give me some of this.
Yeah, stuff's like, I want that, I want that, I want that.
And the Luca Key having either Golbez or that Fabul Gauntlet could be really fun.
Hey, how about a nice vanilla wyvern? A little chilly up here, though.
Yeah. Do you know what killed the dragons? The Ice Age. I am cold to your pleas of mercy. Yeah, we haven't seen the Adamant Rock yet. And an Adamant Rock up here could be huge. Well, it almost has to be up here. Somewhere on the moon.
Yeah, we're just out of places to look.
Yeah. Our runners have covered so much ground. A very well-run race by all four of our runners so far. We're an hour 7 in. We've seen almost the entire universe here. Yeah, the only key items we haven't seen, the Adamant Rock, the Rat Tail. So one of them could lead into the other. Judge Joe grabbing a few more levels, as is Sorbius, preparing kind of for the final push here. And that is an Adamant Rock.
So both have a forge in the LST.
So if the other 6 objectives are available without the LST, this could be kind of a long diversion for Bangagong, but right now this is a piece that that his opponent does not have.
Also, will be a Cane Forge and good stuff in his pool.
And Bangagong going to use another of his sirens for some more gold earrings. I mean, gold dragons. BT Afro, meanwhile, looking for something else real nice in a trap chest. He hasn't found the Pinktail yet, so he doesn't have the Adamant armor. Could be looking for that.
That very well could be it.
Hey there, Delilah. How about a plain white tea? And so Judge Joe
in a Herald robe instead and declare she's not the girl in the white dress.
Very nice. Judge Joe going to check out the dais. Definitely gonna leave the kiddo at home. BT Afro discovering how free his hook route is going to be. And so while our runners are grinding or traveling or getting ready for this really, really important next 10 minutes, I think, in everybody's race, do want to thank our restreamer Xenocat, our trackers Mecha and Fiery Blizzard, for helping us out behind the scenes, making it so you can see what's happening and don't just have to rely on our voices. You know, it's always nice to have that reinforcement there. Just as a reminder, Judge Joe for Rydia's Rebels, they're 2-2 in the tournament. Team No Springs, of whom Sorbius is a member, is also 2-2. And Judge Joe looks like he is face-checking bosses at this point.
That's an interesting play. And with access to everything but the sealed cave, sure.
Yeah, so he needs key items for 2 of the objectives, and he has 2 boss objectives to do. So it's a risk. It's not, you know, a no-brainer decision to only face check when you only need those bosses to do. There is the possibility of leaving something you absolutely are required to have behind. But Joe, we said before, he's a very aggressive player. He's putting his pedal down. He's kind of putting his marker and saying, I'm going to go fast.
Right. The punish here is if there's exactly Golbez or the Alt Gauntlet sitting in Sealed Cave.
Yes.
Oh, with everything we've seen, I do believe we've confirmed that the Giant has a double.
The Giant has at least one. That's at least one of the bosses that we're looking for, the Full Gauntlet or Golbez. And completing the Giant is an objective. So yes, double objective Giant. For sure, maybe even triple objective. Bangagong gets the X-Cal, says we already have one of those. Don't even need the EXP. Gonna head over to Cape Bahamut. And Sorbius back in the land of summoned monsters. I believe the last of our runners not to take on either of the bosses down here.
Right, with the power of this party, those two bosses are going to just melt.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely no resistance. We were talking earlier about how they were very doable even at low levels. At high levels, a piece of cake. So Bangagong, not having the Earth Crystal yet, is taking on this moon with a party of Kane, Sid, Fu, Rosa, and Palom. A very good party, obviously, but you'd much rather have a Holy Sword wielding Cecil in this party to just make everything a little bit faster.
That's just what Cecil does a lot of times. BT Afro through that hook route.
Trying to avoid the pitfall.
Yeah, no, I know it's there. I'm going the other way. We just heard the Dragon Quest, but thou must come up.
But I don't want to advance the plot. But you must advance the plot.
But thou must.
But I don't want to advance the plot. But you must advance the plot. I'll advance the plot. Bangagong will be getting that rat tail. So Bangagong has a lot of really interesting choices. He has a couple of checks to make on the blue planet now. Can go forge. Has that rat tail to chase, but he doesn't have the hook. Does he want to take care of Giant now? I believe that's going to be his plan. And there he goes. Taking the rest in order to go up that Giant. And this could be huge.
Sorby is taking out the Bahamut down, and the Feymarch will probably just take a step to the left and immediately take out the dolls.
BT Afro now going through his dwarf castle. Just as a reminder, the Luke Key was in the ribbon room. The Legend Sword was at the Masamune altar. The Adamant Rock was behind the Vanilla Wyvern. And I beg your pardon, the Legend Sword not at the Masamune altar, at the White Spear altar. And we did see Meteo on those dolls from Sorbius. And now Sorbius is going to head into the Giant as well.
This may be a huge play for Sorbius, being able to make up a lot of time if it's a triple on the Giant.
But Judge Joe is there too. Everybody determining basically at the same time what they must do. That either Football Gauntlet or Golbez, or both, up here on the Giant. And Judge Joe will be the first to show us the element spot.
And it is confirmation that we've got a boss sealed.
Yes. It's 3 robes, but it's 3 red robes. And red versus blue makes all the difference. So, at least this isn't Potion Party, and these dark imps can be stopped or stoned.
Yeah, we can statue them.
Yeah, if the no free boss flag was on, these dark imps would just keep punching and not stop punching. But both Judge Joe and Bangagong will stop the punching. And Palom is helping on Bangagong's side, using a fatal spell. Not often you see that.
Agreed, that's very, very rare.
And Joe getting some extra experience using the life glitch.
And while Sorbius just says, I have enough XP and turns them on the statues.
Well, that's a way to get good job points in Final Fantasy V, is to take down the statues. Maybe that's what he's thinking?
Possibly.
And going to go back and safety save. Especially since you have a pretty good idea that a really tough boss is going to be here. Absolutely the right decision.
And it's a gauntlet here. I heard you wanted second grind.
Oh, I'm seeing triple. I'm seeing 9 gauntlets. Well, when you're seeing triple, you just go for the one in the middle. And so, none of our runners did a traditional D-Machine grind. And one of the flags that is on to kind of disincentivize that is the can't run flag, although our runners certainly know their way around that. But, you know, you gotta do it anyway, and here it is.
We tried avoiding D-Machine. It had other thoughts.
So Bangagong entering this already at really high levels, going to get a whole lot of EXP as well. And you know my saying, Enja Dave, if your level isn't at 99, you're not over leveled.
Good way of thinking of things.
You know, that goes into the, well, what if there is a boss after Zeromus that I do need all these elixirs for?
Yeah, that's why you always keep the Moonveil too.
Yes. Did pick up an Hourglass 3 for his trouble. Which in one of these gauntlet fights might be useful. BT Afro going to head back down into the Fey March to take on the dolls. We know there's not going to be anything there for him. Should be a reset.
Oof, and we see Fusoya had the adamant armor at some point. That is adamant sickness, looking at the 1,000 damage that fire did.
Ugh. So, Dave, you want to explain what that is real quick for those of us like me who aren't sure what adamant sickness is?
Sure. So, the adamant armor, fantastic piece of gear. Gives you immunity to fire, ice, electric, among other things it does.
It's OP. Please nerf.
The problem, it's fugged, and if you take it off, you become weak to those elements.
That does sound like a problem. So yeah, you better make sure when you put an adamant armor on somebody that you want to keep it on them. Or else you're going to have what Joe happened, which is a very floor-bound mop.
Fortunately, the mop doesn't care about experience. Edward's got 4 bound because he got punched in the face.
Mac Giant Horseman Beamer. This is a really strange party. I wonder how they got together.
Like all great parties, most likely met in a tavern somewhere.
But they weren't at Baron Inn.
Moon Tavern.
I bet those Hummingways are up to something.
They always are.
Ooh, VT Afro seeing a big doll. And there's a creepy doll who's also really big and right in front of you. Judge Joe the first through that gauntlet. Gets that objective. Who is the duplicate? It is Rydia. Are you sure you don't want Rydia?
Pretty sure I don't want Rydia.
What if you get a bonus from Z for people with green hair?
Can you get over here? We're dyeing your hair.
BT Afro going to keep that experience because he can exit out, but he knows that's not the path forward. And now Bangagong and now Sorbius get led out of the giant by a small girl. Judge Joe going to head down the hook route. So Joe did some things on the moon, but he left the Luca key behind. And also the adamant.
Yep, left both the objective key items behind up there. Since we now know the Luca key's got Golbez.
Yeah, a very consequential fade. VT Afro going to check that package, and I believe, unlike Sorbius, I believe VT Afro is doing this just to check the boss.
Is that because VTF already has
Cecil?
Has Cecil. So Edge less useful.
Yeah. Bangog going to forge, get something real nice and shiny for Kane.
But then Bangagong just needs to go for deals to launch Falcon and complete the Super Cannon Room.
Yeah, no, he's already completed the Super Cannon Room, just needs to complete the Sealed Cave.
Right, the Twin Harp is in the inventory.
And Bangagong gets unlimited power! Well, 1 power. And a bunch of apples. How much more HP do you need?
Paladin needs to be able to shrug off a 9-roll Big Bang.
Yeah. And those gold apples are a really nice way to do it. Judge Joe has not completed the stream. Judge Joe's stream stuttering a little bit. We are working on it behind the scenes, and we'll get it back up as soon as we can. And Bangagong gets a gigantic axe.
Sid is looking at that and drooling a little bit.
And Sid gets it. The ultimate betrayal.
Sid's like, axe for me?
Bangagong now doing Dwarf Castle. VT Afro. Yeah, gonna hang on to that edge, actually.
Interesting.
So edge could still be really useful. VT Afro has a lot of weapons to dart. and decides he's done enough with Yang. A Masamura edge.
Yeah. Sorbius getting the... Oh, right, because VTF was the only one to have gotten the Masa. That makes sense, picking up edge.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorbius gets the Earth Crystal, will likely head straight up Zot because objective and 2 boss checks.
Yep. Just a quick stop in the Adamant Grotto to pick up that Adamant. You can get an Adamant at the Adamant Grotto, but you can't get a Grotto at the Adamant Grotto.
How would one carry a Grotto?
In that giant bag.
Ah. What if we were to take that giant bag and throw it in a hole?
I bet if we laid that bag across that hole, we could grab a whole lot of Mac Giants.
Hmm.
So Bangong will get a really nice tail out of this foray into Dwarf Castle, but this is not progression for him.
Sorbius going up the tower. Bangong taking on the Dark Elf in Dwarf. Joe, checking to see if Golbez is hiding at the package.
So now we know for sure that this is a boss check, because Judge Joe previously opened the package, saw Edge, said no.
So as soon as the Sparkle shows up, we'll be an immediate reset and probably back to the moon.
BT Afro checking the Baron basement now, seeing that there are computer issues. And yeah, I believe Joe face-checked all the bosses on the moon.
So we'll know after this that this is a hunt for a Luca key or an Adamant Rock.
Yeah, Joe just needs one more objective. Either needs to forge or find that Golbez. So whichever, and Joe will know for a certainty that Golbez is at the sealed cave. So we'll know that he's on the hunt for one more key item.
And Sorbius will likely be heading to the moon immediately after taking out the Tower of Zot.
Both Rydia's Rebels and Team No Springs are 2-2, looking for that all-important third win. This is both teams' game 1 for Week 5, and both Sorbius and Judge Joe really want to get their teams off to a winning start here. On the bottom, Bangagong, a member of Silvera Petting Zoo, who is 1-3. VT Afro, a member of Brew Dude Attitude, who are at 2-2, looking to improve to 3-2. And very nice float strats for VT Afro, able to keep both the nodes in the front alive and killing the CPU in the back.
You know, Bangagong has turned in the pan. Needs to do ordeals or to go into sealed cave. Find the last objective. And the Cecil here might push the ordeals play.
Yeah, which is going to need to happen. And do want to kind of explain, because Chad is pointing out, you know, most of the things I say turn out to be wrong. VT Afro, even more than float strats, did something really even more interesting. Destroyed both the orbs, and then when the orbs in front, and when before they revived, took a Quake to the CPU so that the CPU got the brunt of the Quake, and the orbs did not, even though they revived. So, well done there. Sorbius not interested in doing anybody's IT work. With good reason.
I don't blame Sorbius. IT work is stinky.
Yeah. Yeah, probably smells like Mountain Dew down there. Like Mountain Dew, like the original variant from like the 70s.
Ooh, I don't remember that stuff. That's a little too old for me.
Yeah,
I can imagine any drink made in the 70s is going to be extra stinky by now.
Yeah, when it was still half turpentine. Maybe not half turpentine, maybe a quarter turpentine. The stuff could peel paint, though. Judge Joe picks up a rat tail. Really interesting decision for him. Does he chase it? It would be a low percentage play, but depending on how he feels...
I think you're obligated to save Scummit.
Yeah, he's going to make that long trek. Oh, and this is going to be disappointment for Joe.
VT Afro on the Giant right now, taking on the Dimps.
Yeah, going to be one objective short by the end of it. VT Afro a little bit lower level than the other runners we've seen taking on the Giant, but should still be in good position to take this on. And the kind of gauntlet should be more levels to round him nicely into Z shape. And you could hear the reset from here. Judge Joe slams that button. Heads right back to the moon. And gonna take on the lunar subterrane.
So this could come down to between Joe and Sorbius. Who finds their remaining key items here first? Or who makes the play first? We know where they are.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're right next to each other, basically. Now, Sorbius, if Sorbius recognizes the value the Luca key has, he is one key item away. Otherwise, he'll have to find two. Judge Joe, one key item away, either way.
Yeah, Joe's starting from the top, so we know there's going to be no value here.
Yeah. Top down the slower play today. And the reason we say, you know, if Sorbius recognizes the value of the Luca key, Sorbius hasn't checked out all of these lunar subterranean spots. Doesn't know, like Joe knows, for a certainty that Golbez is behind the Luca key. And yeah, Sorbius is face checking. Wants that Golbez.
It's the fastest way, because you could just end on the moon if Golbez were up here.
Yep. Yep, but going to be losing time here. So Joe giving away a little bit of it with that fruitless rat tail check. Sorbius going to be giving a little bit of it away with these face checks that aren't going to pan out. Luca key was in the ribbon room behind those Mega Sisters.
And the Adamant Rock is behind a Vanilla Wyvern.
Yep, at the Crystal Sword altar. And Judge Joe has the Legend Sword because he previously took on the White Spear altar. Sorbius does not yet have that.
Yeah, I have to imagine that Deckar Smash is saying that Judge Joe's next play is going to be one of the two that we know will be Go mode.
Yep. And
Because going all
Sorbius,
the way down to Masa next makes the least sense.
yeah. And Sorbius heading to the Crystal Sword altar.
I assume Sorbius is going to take this fight upon realizing I need to find a key item up here.
Yes. I believe he's already... Because he started top down as well. So he should be done face checking.
If it's not reset on the Wyvern, then... Oh, wait, I actually have to fight this. Or fight something.
And he'd rather go back down to the... to where the key items are. Now he knows he needs a key item. Go to where they're densest.
Bangagon making the play for a deal, so we know this will lead to the hook.
Which is what he needs. Yeah, he could either go to the Seal Cave, but he doesn't know that Golbez is there. As soon as he gets the hook, he'll have a one-way ticket to where he knows he needs to go. Judge Joe able to focus through the snowflakes.
Speaking of vitamin sickness, did you see how hard that Fusoya got hit?
Oh, yeah. Gracious.
They'll be finding pieces of that Fusoya for a while.
Yeah, that mop is disintegrating upon re-entry. A rapid, unplanned demolition. Sorbius now taking on the Magus Sisters.
We know this will give the Luca key, and Sorbius will likely bail on the moon immediately after getting that.
But Judge Joe has adamant armor. Judge Joe is in go mode. Now, there is still a Z fight after this.
Yep. VT Afro finishing up the Giant right now. I believe Double Mac Giant's the last fight of the Gauntlet.
I believe you're right.
So Afro will just need to go to the moon and track down Go mode.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Edge doing work. I'm fairly certain Edge has a mutant Ifon because I saw 9s.
Yeah, that is quite a lot of damage. Edge not messing around. And here goes Joe. Going to Forge. Will get his Gigantax. Has all the levels he needs. Sorbius picks up Luca Key. And is gone.
Or maybe? I thought that was reaching for exit. Yeah.
There he goes.
I think that was double checking. Make sure it has to be Golbez down there before exiting.
Bangagong does get his hook. All he needs to do is...
Yep, Bangagong's also in go mode after picking up that hook.
Yep. Just needs to go through that hook route. Fall through that pitfall.
VT Afro still needs to find go mode from the moon.
And Judge Joe gets the crystal.
And all 4 runners have the pass, so everyone can take the shortcut to Zeromus.
Yep, pass was from the from Cape Magnus, which was required. And Sorbius is gonna take that Luca key. And so we are gonna get to see a comedy set from Golbez here.
It's a real underground comedy set. You've probably never heard of it.
Yeah, Golbez performing for an audience of 5. That's how underground this comedy set's gonna be. But Judge Joe heading to Troya, and we're seeing Z flags in chat. We've missed this in the potion party.
It's been a minute since we were able to do this.
Yeah, great to see all those flags waving, and that means we get to see our old friend, never gonna appear anywhere else, always has to appear at the very end because he's too big, he's too smelly to be anywhere else, too powerful, gotta be at the end. But we do like to dress him up, so, and I like to imagine that he likes it too, really.
Oh, who doesn't enjoy some good cosplay?
And so, Engine Dave, will you do the honors?
Hold on. It's been over a month. I need to remember how this line goes. Whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
Now, are there some other questions? Like, does he even have a butt? Is it cute?
Will he haunt my nightmares?
Will it be from a property I recognize?
That's also a good question a lot of times.
Does it have a hat? Can it get me an extension on my taxes?
Has it been trying to call me about my car's extended warranty?
Probably.
Fire, yes, actually, and I called that, and during that, I actually called that Friday was going to be win game. Oh, this is going to die in one hit.
Yeah. No, it's going to take a little bit more than that. This is an especially hardy slime miss.
Well, slimes have like 4 HP, though.
Not this one. You've encountered the adamant slime.
Oh, is this one of those amalgamated slimes, or whatever they are?
Yeah. What is your command?
Pet the slime.
You can't pet E-Slime. BT Afro on the moon, around where he needs to be. Probably gonna look, and now he's face checking as well here.
This could be going south for Joe fast.
Yeah, this is really tough. Z, never a free fight. And with a cane as your anchor, he's going to get a lot of turns in.
Although, with this damage output, we might be able to just power through.
Sorbius really hoping for a wipe to Z here. Because Sorbius just getting his crystal now. Bangagog moments away from getting his crystal. Big Bang coming out here for Joe. Don't think this
should be an 8 roll.
Oh, another betrayal. And Cecil's our only hope.
But we are in rocks, and Cecil can shrug off 1 rock guaranteed.
And he can dodge the rocks.
Those rocks cap at 1055. I believe 1062 is enough to tank it.
And that is it. Judge Joe wins it. Takes game 1 for Rydia's Rebels. And wins in week 5 of the Moonveil Mixer, the Eblan Elixir League. With a time of 1:46.12, GG's to Judge Joe. What a seed that was.
Yeah, this had it all. Hard required giants, buried bosses, a boss buried behind in Luca, behind the warp glitch. And we are joined by Judge Joe. GG's.
Thanks. So 25 out of 28, 31 out of 32.
Yep. What were you thinking when you realized Golbez was chilling in Luca?
Well, I hadn't actually been looking at the race room, but my assumption was there was a non-zero chance that someone just did the other part of the moon that gave Forge, or did the part that had Luca and was going to save some time there, so was pretty worried there, but it worked out.
Yeah, that was some kind of required giant as well, huh?
Oh yeah. When I was down to Hook Route, which I'd forgotten who was at Hook 2, and Giant, and Luca Package, so 4 out of 6 spots were required objectives, and I'm looking for 2 bosses, something's going to be required there. Wasn't sure what, and it turned out hard required Giant.
Well, once again, your aggressiveness really showed through the stream. You took on Feymarch very early. What kind of compelled you to take on those bosses then?
It was a free Feymarch. If I had a Curse Ring and a better Zerker, I'd have definitely taken on most things, but in this case, it kind of just had to be pretty much the ones that could be Hourglass, or I guess Bahamut as seen there. So just do that, never come back.
It is nice to kind of leave it behind, isn't it?
Well, that's my philosophy. When I'm hitting the Feymarch, I want to hit the Feymarch. Although this was earlier than I was expecting to finish it. With my Magma and Routing, I wasn't actually expecting to be doing a one-trip Feymarch. I thought about maybe going and doing other stuff before heading there, but since I did the Magma, I felt like I had to at minimum check for Pan at Feymarch. Especially since Tower didn't pay out with the Pan. I mean, it paid out with the Harp.
So, what do you think? How's the adjustment been going from the Potion Party flags to the Moonveil Mixer flags? You got off to a hot start. It doesn't seem to have affected you that much.
Well, in Potion Party, I would kind of just take whatever junk I could get, even if it was just like an Assassin Dagger, and try and go in a lot of cases, which means I don't need much. And in this, you even start with a Dwarf Axe, which makes 2 characters instantly good. You start with J items, which means you're pretty likely to be able to get the 3rd. Pretty much I'm able to play even more aggressively with Moonveil Mixer, despite the theoretical lower power.
Well, that was a very adept running of that particularly trolly seed. And one final question I have for you is how it feels to be up 1-0 for Rydia's Rebels in this week.
Pretty happy. Potion Party went decently, could have gone better, but overall, but now that we're in Moonveil Mixer, my goal is to do everything I can to get the wins for the team to ensure we can have that fighting chance for top 4 in finals.
Well, you're off to a quick start. And Dave, any final questions for Judge Joe?
I got one more for you, Joe. Your team is Rydia's Rebels. How could you betray Rydia by eating her not once but twice this seed?
I'd have taken Rydia if she didn't show up with a level 55 party.
He was just in need of mentorship.
It was a matter of circumstance. I regret everything. I always want to take Rydia. I always do, but when she's in the last 2 character spots that I find, sometimes it doesn't work that way.
Well, GG's Judge Joe. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thanks for putting on the restream. I'm sure it'll be a great watch, and hope everyone has a wonderful night or day.
We do have the Second place finisher here, Sorbius, finishing with a time of 1 hour, 51 minutes, 29 seconds. And meanwhile, Bangagong in the Zeromus fight with a bit of an advantage on VT Afro. This fight going really well for him so far. A really impressive race for Bangagong.
With all these levels, Zeromus can't really drop anyone from full health.
No, and full health is to the moon.
Yeah, this is a very, very comfy setup.
Yeah, 5,500 HP Sid. Yeah. And Fu goes down from that big bang, but should not be too much of an issue with the way everybody's swinging. Even Rosa getting in on the action.
The problem is we had a nuke and a white both queued to bounce off a wall on that Fusoya.
Yeah. Does not matter.
And that is Slimus going down on Bangagong's side. So Bangagong will take this race for the Silvara Petting Zoo.
Yeah, and that means Silvara Petting Zoo and Brew Dude Attitude tied for this week. So it's all going to come down to game 3 for them. GG's to Bangagong. Get it on. Bangagong joining us now. GG's.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
There you go. That was a really impressive run for such a trolley seed. What did you think of that seed?
Yeah, I felt really good about all those boss fights and everything except, honestly, I forgot ordeals. I just forgot it was a thing.
Well, you honestly didn't have any real reason to go up there.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that early, and then after the moon, I kind of routed out, I'm going to go here, and if it's not here, it has to be here, and when I got to the Tower of Zot, I saw regular, not Paladin Cecil, and it all just clicked right away.
Yeah, that's a pretty good reminder.
So speaking of coming back from the moon, you were the only one who said, I'm going to take this darkness and immediately go to the moon. What were your thoughts behind going there first?
Well, I was really happy to find Sirens and Hourglasses pretty early, so I knew that even at like not moon clearing levels, I could do some pretty easy grinding up there and get into shape pretty quick.
Yeah, it seemed like your MO for that was grind early and grind often, and it really paid off for you. Your levels were boffo by the end. Does that kind of go into your gameplay to make sure that you have the levels to make the seed that much easier?
Only if it's really convenient. Like, I was there, I had the stuff to do it, I might as well. That's definitely, you know, I was a lot stronger than I normally am when I try and do that fight, but I knew I didn't have to worry about nerfing the big bangs or anything. I was just gonna go for it when I got to them.
And so your boss fights, you said you felt really good about them, and for good reason. What was the boss fight that you were proudest of then?
Well, on the moon when I did the Magus Sisters and then the Baron Guards, I honestly forgot I had that Mute Knife equipped, and I thought, hey, that Gungnir Spear is doing a lot of damage. What the heck?
Yeah.
So that just kind of worked out really well.
All right, well, you improve to 3-1 individually, really doing the work for Silvera Petting Zoo. You're the MVP of this team. How do you feel about your performance so far in this tournament?
I feel really good. You know, it was really good to get a win on the first Moonveil.
And how have you been handling the transition from the Potion Party to the Moonveil flag set? Has it been jarring, or is it really easy to pick up?
It was jarring at first. I did a little practice in week 3 because that was my week off during a Potion Party. So I've been trying to sprinkle a little bit of it in over the last couple weeks so that it wasn't just right in my face.
And Dave, do you have any final questions for our winner, Bang & Gong, whose team, Silvera Petting Zoo, moves to a decisive Game 3 in this week?
I think we are good. We're good over here. GG's on your run, and good luck next week.
Thanks so much. Thanks to the whole Restream team. You guys make this so much more fun.
You're the one who provides the entertainment. So, GG's once again, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks so much.
But you know, Bang & Gong does have a point. We do have an excellent Restream team. Xenocat, our Restreamer, Mecha, and Fiery Blizzard, our trackers, and of course, Dave, with the knowledge and making sure we don't get adamant sickness.
You never be sick of adamant. Also, a big shout out to you, Sheep Launcher.
Yep, give our runners and give our team a follow. It don't cost nothing. And VT Afro putting up huge numbers against this Slimus. The command to Slimus is going to be to fade away very soon. And yeah, VT Afro just didn't get to the moon as early as Bang & Gong, and that's all the difference here. Really a well-run race by VT Afro as well.
Given the kind of rude placement of key items and, well, bosses, fantastic job all around.
Yeah, really impressive running by all 4 runners. So this was certainly a treat for us tonight, and Dave, and I hope you as well, dear viewer, felt good about it too. Dear viewer. Now I'm gonna swoon.
Oh no, who's got the assassin dagger?
Rocks falling on VT Afro's side, a couple of dodges, no issue.
And with that, Slimus falls one last time.
And GG's to VT Afro as the crumbling occurs. A great member of Brew Dude Attitude, just falling a little bit short this time, but absolutely a well-run race. So GG's to VT Afro.
And while we're waiting to see if VT Afro wants to join us, would like to give a shout out to these 4 runners, Judge Joe, Sorbius, Bang & Gong, and VT Afro, putting on a fantastic show for us. And I would like to remind everyone, we do have one more race tonight.
Free Enterprise After Dark. Yeah, at midnight Eastern. Technically 11:59 p.m. Eastern, if you want to get real granular about it. We have Soft Numb of the team Golbez, and Golbez versus Amarith of the Mysidian Comedy Club. And we'll tell you about that in a little bit. But first, we are joined by VT Afro. GG's.
Thanks. GG everybody else. Thanks to Dave and Sheep Launcher for commentating. Thanks everybody else behind the scenes. That was a seed. It existed. I didn't 17 out of 17, which was my goal.
Well, that was certainly a trolley seed, but you advanced very steadily and very well throughout the whole thing. So that was very, very well done. What did you think of the of what turned out to be the placement of those hard to find bosses?
With not seeing anyone done before I went to Moon, I'm like, I've got to go to Giant. It's got to be Giant. And then it was Giant, but I was still behind, as it turns out. I mean, everybody else in this race is really good, and this is only my first tournament, so I'm happy with how I did today. I really thought I was going to find Golbez. I was just check. Nope, not Golbez. Nope, not Golbez. What Wyvern? Oh, I'm like, it's behind Luca Key. It's literally I literally checked every boss. So at that point, when I got Luca Key, I just ran. I didn't know how long it would take me to find Adamant Rock. Where was it? I didn't look at the spoiler log.
The Wyvern.
It was the Wyvern. Of course it was. Okay, I'm not upset at my choice there. Although having whatever forge would have been nice, I guess. At that point, it doesn't really matter. The Crystal Sword Cecil with an adamant armor, just destroying. But honestly, I don't remember the early game at this point. It was that kind of seed.
I don't believe you. 2 hours is a long time to remember stuff some days.
Yeah, it's so hard to remember that you started with a magma key.
Yes.
Like, and it's like
I dove underground. I managed to beat Bahamut with no levels, so that was fun. I was like, maybe I can do this, and I got through it. And I was like, damn, I did it. Now what? I'm sure I wasn't the only one to beat that free boss from the beginning, but that felt good.
Yeah, you were the first.
I was. Okay. I don't know. I got lost somewhere, and I went to the moon, checked the characters. It's like, I felt pretty good on the gauntlet, actually. Learning D Machine helps with that gauntlet, actually. So that's nice. Being able to know to just weak them before you attack them, get through those fights with not so long.
Yeah, the worst thing for me to realize is the single D Machine is worse than the Searcher D Machine.
I was just like, I need to get to weak. I need to get to weak. I saw the HP dwindling. Okay, I got through it. Honestly, I need to know better about which enemies I can use hourglasses on. Because I had a few, and I maybe should have used a couple more during that gauntlet.
That gauntlet? In that gauntlet, all 5.
All 5. Okay, so that's really where I should have used. I think I had a couple left over. I'm not sure exactly how many I had left. I know I used 1, but
yeah, Dave.
Yeah.
The only gauntlet fights you can't use hourglasses in is basically in the lunar subterrane. Is that right?
The Blue Dragons and the Crystal Sword Gauntlet, and the entirety of the Masa Gauntlet.
Yep. I've done that Masa Gauntlet before. It might have been Potion Party, but that's not fun.
No, it is not.
No. But thanks everybody. I hope I at least showed well for my team. Thanks to my team, you guys are great, and there's always next week.
Yeah, and you've been showing improvement, at least from what I've seen. So I know your team's behind you as well. So GG's tonight, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Hey, that'll do it for us here. We do have another race coming up. Is it on this channel?
It's on Free Enterprise 2. So, enter the same URL as this, and just add a 2 at the end.
Yep, the broadcast will be starting in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, and so until then, and again, that is a soft num of Golbez, and Golbez versus Amaranth, representing Massidian Comedy Club. Both teams have really had their moments in this tournament, so that should really be a fun one. Got a really chill team lined up to give you that, so we hope you'll join us again for that. But to tide you over until then, we'll head over to Klopfer, doing some Moonveil Mixer practice. Once again, thank you so much to our restreamer Xenocat, our trackers Mecha and Fiery Blizzard. Thank you to Engine Dave, and I've been Sheep Launcher, and until next time, so long.